YouTube, I'm back again. Last video I was talking about how I save money on video games. But this time I want to talk about how I almost never bought a bad game. I know that might sound crazy, but we're in the year 2021. There's so much information about games, and there's a lot of misinformation about games as well. But you don't have to take risk on buying a bad game. Like, you generally know before you invest in that game, what kind of game you're getting. With the internet, between YouTube, websites, Twitter, um, Metacritic, believe it or not, you get a great idea if you're investing in a good game or not. Usually, you see gameplay clips, you see how the game looks, you get opinions, which a lot of opinions. Like, what I do is, the way I do it is I take a bunch of different opinions and I kind of tally them up in my head, basically. And if I get like a general good opinion about a game, then I will go ahead and take the plunge. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes just the publisher's track record can actually help out a lot when it comes to buying a good or bad game. Like, if you're going to get a good game if you see a game like Ubisoft. Usually, don't get me wrong, Ubisoft have they have trash tactics, monetizing tactics and stuff like that, like a lot of these publishers do. But you generally know if you're getting a good game or not. When it comes to buying games, you know you're gonna get what kind of game you're getting. Between YouTube reviews, then you have like the big reviewers out here like IGN, GameSpot, stuff like that. Credibility is questionable with a lot of them, but you can kind of get a sense of what you're getting into, like what kind of game it is, right? But then you have like a bunch of like smaller YouTubers who will give their honest thoughts and opinions on games too. And a lot of times what they're saying is true. On top of Metacritic, I'm not saying rely solely on any one source. So never do that, right? Just take a whole tally of just everybody and everything, and then. And that's only if there's something that you're not familiar with. You know what I'm saying? But if the game look interesting, right? If the game look interesting, and then you see reviewers pretty much saying the same thing, and then you see like smaller like YouTubers saying the same thing about the game, maybe it's Twitter. You might be watching people tweet and go from there. It's like so many different ways to get a good general opinion about a game that you usually come out solid when you finally take the plunge and buy the game. That's exactly what I do. I can't remember the last time I legit bought a bad game. And if I bought a bad game, it was I bought it for like super cheap just to try it out. Like some stuff like a cheap game, I'll spend $5 to $10 on a game and try it out. I won't spend $60 on a game if the game don't look good enough. If the game ain't appealing enough for $60, I'm not doing it. Like that werewolf game that just came out a couple months ago or something like that. Like, I wouldn't spend $60 on a game like that. I would simply wait because it just does not look that good to spend $60 on. So I won't do it, or $70. And that's why I feel like the $70 game thing is not that big of a deal, because a lot of times, you'll know if the game is good or not, and then price fall almost instantly, depending on how successful the game is, you know. But just to quickly summarize, in today's day and age, you don't have to worry about stuff like that. You don't have to worry about buying a bad game. Now, back in the day when there was no internet, when all you had to go by was like maybe a magazine review or something like that, or looking at the back of the box to see, oh, is this a good game or not? It was a lot more risk back then because you didn't have enough information on the game. You only had a couple of sources of reviewers when it came to gaming back in the day. You had, I think, it was GamePro. GamePro magazine was one. EGM was another. And then like maybe two other magazines. So it wasn't like a lot out there. But like now, you got all kinds of everybody can review games. Everybody review games. Everybody. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I don't buy bad games. I can't remember the last time I did it. So I don't necessarily need to try games before I buy them nowadays. Demos, they're great, don't get me wrong, but it ain't really that necessary. Not in this, like I said, not in this day and age, man. 2021 is too much information out there on the internet. And again, there's a lot of misinformation, but if you're smart, you got common sense, you can weed through the BS. You can read through trash, propaganda, lying stuff. You know what I'm saying? You can. It's really easy to do. But let me know what y'all think in the comment section when it comes to that, man. Have y'all ever bought a bad game? Have you ever felt like you took a risk on a bad game? Personally, I haven't. I've never taken risk on a bad game because I'm well versed in what I'm getting what I'm spending my money on before I spend my money on it. Hit me up in the comment section, man. Let me know what y'all think, man. If you feeling me, you feel the video, hit the like button, bro. Support me. Support you. Support me. And I support you too, man. Hit me up. Rome, I'm gone.